Hey friends, welcome back to Farmopolis. Today's episode is going to be a little different. Before we jump into building our farming, I want to take a few minutes to talk about a new idea I had for this series. Something I hope will keep things fun, balanced, and a little more exciting for all of us. So, as you know, we started MineColonies last episode, and I was super excited to begin building our town. And I still am. But after doing a bit more research, I realized that MineColonies can be, well, a little grindy. The buildings take time, the colonists move at their own pace, and resource gathering can slow things down quite a bit. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually part of what makes it special. But I also didn't want it to stall the whole series or make every episode feel like we were waiting around for lumber. So, I had an idea. I thought, what if we split the world? Not literally, but thematically. What if we had two sides of the river? On one side, we keep working with MineColonies, but in creative mode. That way we can speed up the process, learn the mod together, and focus on designing and managing our colony without getting stuck in the early grind. And on the other side of the river, we'll stay in survival mode, playing through the rest of the mod pack with the cozy, slower way. We'll grow our crops with mystical agriculture, automate things with Create, and explore everything else Farmopolis has to offer. One peaceful day at a time. And speaking of peaceful, yes, I'm setting the world to peaceful mode. I don't want to worry about raids or mobs sneaking up on my colonists while I'm off farming potatoes. Let's just enjoy the world, build at our own pace, and keep things low stress. So, that's the plan. Creative MineColonies over here, survival farming and mod exploration over there. One world, two vibes. I honestly don't know if it'll work perfectly, but I want to give it a try, and I hope you'll let me know what you think in the comments. This series is all about learning and relaxing together, and I want to keep it feeling good for you and for me. Thanks for being here. Let's see where this idea takes us. Okay, so first things first, I am going to move the game mode to creative. And I'm going to go into my settings and switch it to peaceful. This way I know that the colonists are not going to die. In my little test world, while I was kind of working on some ideas for this world and how to do it, I lost like 3 colonists in just a matter of minutes. We got raided and I didn't quite go to sleep soon enough, and it was just a little bit crazy. So that's really where I got the idea to try it. And I tried it in this other test world, and I also realized, unfortunately, that this is not a good placement for the town hall. And another thing I realized is that in JEI, if you go the way you normally start, colonies is by a supply camp, and that comes in the form of a ship or like a little base camp. And in this mod pack, it's not available. Like, you can't craft it. So the only way you can start the real, like the normal MineColonies way, is to be in creative here. And then when you hit the supply, you can see we've got a supply ship and a supply camp. So those two things are actually what we want to start with. And so I am going to start that way instead. But when you do that, it's sort of like we need more room. And I think the town hall, I've also learned, is not an important building. You don't even really have to build it right away. So what we really want kind of centralized is the builder's hut. And when we go into the build tool here, we can see the builder's hut. And there's 2 different versions. So you can click on builder here. You can, double hit that. You can escape and actually move around this build and look at it. You can click on it again and flip it so that you can see, like, you know, where you want the front door. You can move it forward and backward. You can move it up and down. And this building is key because this is where the builders will go to get their materials and things like that. So for now, I haven't tried this yet. I didn't even try it in my test world, but I think what I'd like to do is just go ahead and move this town hall like towards the back of our build back here. I know they sort of congregate here, but now that it's on peaceful mode and we don't have to worry about things attacking them at night or lighting it all up or just all those grindy things that we talked about, I figured I would try to move this. And I'm not really sure. I think honestly, I can just destroy it and everything went away. I'm not sure what that's going to do to the people, but at this point we're just kind of testing and learning together. So I thought I'll go ahead and do it that way and move the town hall somewhere else. And since we're starting with the supply camp and the supply ship, we can just go ahead and place those down instead. Those actually give you some resources to start with. Normally, I think you would start with either one or the other, but since this is really just kind of a learn together thing, I thought I would go ahead and just place them both so you can see what they look like and we can kind of learn what they have together. Now, one thing about them is when you go to place them, you don't use the build tool. You actually place the ship itself. So we're going to select the style. I just want to make sure that we're always with the Shire. I got so excited about this when I saw that Shire in here. I like Lord of the Rings. I'm a fan. And so I wanted to really explore that part of the MineColonies. So I'm going to choose to place the supply ship. And as you can see, it has these little, like, I don't know, they look like tennis rackets to me, but they need the blue ones here. They want to be in the water, which they are. They're good. But we want to make sure that it's facing the right direction. So as you like kind of use the ship as your tool, you can flip it and see this is like the floating part of the base. And we want to flip it to where I think this is the front of the pier. I'm going to back it up just a tad because we don't really want, and I think that is actually where it needs to be. Let's look at that. I think, is that too low or is that actually with the water? I think that's with the water. So that, I think that looks probably about good. And then when you click it and hit the check mark, it will just auto build. Like you don't need any resources for this, whether you are in survival or whether you are in creative. This just happens. And one other thing I did want to show you guys about this that I saw as I was doing all my research is if you raise this up really high, I don't know if we can see it, like sometimes in these builds, there's the red little box there is kind of the thing that you, what is it, their workstation that they need to have access to. But sometimes in these supply camps, there will be hidden resources. And I think you can like look underneath and try to find it. This one doesn't seem to have one. I know the other supply camp does, so I'll make sure to show you guys that when we, I'm taking it up, wrong button. When we get to that, which we'll go ahead and place that one next. I do want to make sure that I have this correct for the right water level. Is it one more? I think, is that it? Yeah, it looks like the barrels are floating and the water level is all right. And let's just bring it a little bit more forward than that so that we have access to it. Right here, it looks like we're almost there. We could bring it one more forward. Not that we couldn't build out there, but this looks great to me. Okay, and then when you click it again, you hit the check mark and boom, it's built. So there we have the little supply ship. You can put these trapdoors down to access it. Here's the bed. There's some resources in here. Like I said, you can, there's your town hall. So this is actually, we're going to go ahead and use this one because we destroyed our other one. But that is something that would then be your next step to place. And the supply camp gives you that. Now, before we do that, we are actually going to go ahead and take a little sleep so that it's light outside. And we really want to do, we'll place the town hall and then the builder's hut, but we're going to put our town hall somewhere back here. And I will remove trees and stuff. Really does help if you sort of like look at where you want it and level out some of the land for them, either before or after you place the build. When you go into the build tool, you can see that it's marked out the region of our build. And I know that if you place something kind of right on the edge, it will extend your borders. So I'm thinking if we have our town hall kind of away back here, since I know we're not going to use it very much, but maybe what we want to do is place it right on this edge to kind of extend us out this way a little bit, and then still have like kind of a straight shot down to the supply camps and the taverns and all that kind of stuff. So, but we are going to first place our other supply camp, which is this one, and just because I want y'all to see it, and that in my opinion is kind of a cool little first base for yourself, but we also want to make sure that it's a little bit away from things. Let's see, I think if we place it kind of back over this way, if we're going to put the town hall up there, maybe we have there's a little like cave or something. Maybe we put our little supply camp in this sort of flattened area. Let's see what it would look like. So again, we've already selected our style. I'm not sure if this is repetitive, but we'll go ahead and just make sure we are in the Shire. I guess I could just click on it and find out, but there we go. And place supply camp, and we can see what it looks like. Let's go ahead and switch it around to where we see the front. There's some little stairs here in the front door. So I think that looks pretty good. And then again, we can take it down to the level of the ground. You can kind of see where those, like, again, those like tennis rackets are. That's where we want it. And you just want to like walk around, make sure that you like the placement of it all. This looks like, I think this looks pretty good. And I think we will have to get rid of these apple trees. I've noticed that when I place something, especially these that are automatic builds, if you try to place it where there's stuff in the way, like I say check mark here because I'm okay with this, it's going to tell me not all blocks in the area meet the requirements. And what that means is it's showing you in these red highlighted areas that that tree is in the way. So what you can do then is just escape and get rid of that. I do have my keybind set to vein mine, and it does work in creative. So if I hit the Q, I can see that I can get rid of all the tree. That should update this red block here. And then the same for this tree here. We'll just hit, I have it set to Q. Tilde is a little hard for my finger to reach. So we have that all set. And then, yeah, this is kind of a pain, which is why I'm really grateful to have the vein thing set up key, because even in creative, it's kind of a pain to use that. I don't use creative a lot. I'm pretty much of a survival player, but I think for this, it really is going to be a way for us to kind of learn and get through the mod. I've watched several people play this now just to learn for myself, but I'm a pretty cozy, slow player, and a lot of them play pretty fast, and they're playing on other mod packs that have other things that help them a lot, like little iron farms. I've seen it there's one YouTuber, I'm not sure I'll pronounce his name right, but it's Sejin or something. And he plays on Feed the Beast 10, all the mods or something. And so there's different resources that he has his access to that I don't, playing it on Farmopolis. So I wanted to just kind of, go at my pace. And again, I really want feedback for this because I know I've been so excited that I've had so much feedback on this series that I really want, it's almost like there's more, I hate to say pressure because that makes it sound negative, but I just really want this to be something that everybody looks forward to and can learn from, and that I can kind of adapt for my watchers. Okay, so it looks like I have removed the red things and I can go ahead and hit the check mark now. Oh, nope, it's saying that I think that it looks like there's not enough dirt. So let's see if we can, do we have dirt? Yes, we do. But I'm still going to need that. So let's, if we place dirt here, does that go away? Oh, yeah, see that? Well, I don't know why that one's not going away. So maybe what we need to do is kind of mark this area. See, I'm learning alongside y'all, and I think we need to fill all this in with dirt. And to here, see if we can go out of view mode. I'm really not sure how to do that so that we aren't trying to look through this thing. Let's just, if we exit, no. Oh, because it's the supply camp. So let's do that. And let's, whoops. Now it moved it without, what I was going to do is just move it up. So let's see if we can move it here, put it back where it was there. And then let's just raise it up high so we can actually see. And this is actually a good example of, you can see here that this supply camp has an emerald block hidden under something, a gold block hidden under something. So if we look straight down from this corner edge here, we know that this is what we need to fill in with dirt. So let's just go ahead and do that really quick. I will probably do a little speedy for you guys on this because this might take me just a minute. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see if we can bring it down, if we can get rid of that error message. Well, did we get it? It looks like we did. I don't see anything red. Let's give it a try and see if that fixed it. Yep, that was it. Okay, now we're all set up with our supply camp. Of course, I showed you where the little underneath this, I think, is the emerald block, and somewhere under one of these is the gold block. Of course, since we're in creative on this side of the river, I'm not going to worry about getting those things. But on the other side of the river, we will be gathering everything by hand, and we will not be taking stuff from this side of the river. We will just keep what is currently in our inventory here. Actually, I guess I could say I have been sort of collecting some stuff, which is, haven't thought about that, how exactly to be super fair. But here we have some tools that they have left for us. Again, another town hall that we don't need, but it is there. There's a spruce sapling. These little tool racks are really cool. This is what the colonists use for storage, but as you can see, it's like a, a regular storage chest here. There's a crafting bench in here. There's these little cute barrels, and there's some resources down here too with more saplings. And the carrot and the potato, I think they give you those to start right away because the colonists can get sick. And I've already heard them like sneezing and coughing. And if you put in their inventory some carrots and potatoes, they can heal themselves. So we definitely want to get those planted and put those in there. Well, and I guess we're in creative, we can give them those now, but I'm really trying to keep giving them resources just for the builds to the creative side. I'd like to keep it as much that we're working towards stuff as we can, so it doesn't feel super cheaty. It's just trying to remove that massive grind for y'all's pleasure to watch. Okay, so now that we have the 2 supply camps placed down, we do want to place that town hall. And like I said, I'm going to put it back here, kind of on the sort of border of the what is this? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness, words. It is awfully early in the morning here. I want to put it down on the borders to kind of expand those out a little bit, perhaps. It looks like, green stone. How crazy is that? We can fill this in because we're not going to be going down there. And this is where I'd like to see the town hall, kind of in this general area here. maybe back behind our little builder's hut. Maybe in this area. Yep. I think in the town hall, let's see. We want to look at how big it is too. So when you go down and you select the town hall, it's going to show you this smaller building. So when you're planning for where you want to put it, I suggest that we go to level 5, just so we know this is the max size it will ever be and what it will look like in the end. It will start out looking like this, but it's going to look like this later on. So let's kind of plan for this sort of look and find a place for it to go. So again, we're probably going to have to clear some land to get it to the edge here. But let's scooch it on back and to where it's extending that border. Let's see, let's try to push it out as far as we can. So I'm going to come over to this angle so I can kind of see where it pushes it. Well, no. Oh, it kind of orients to you. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to push it out. Will it even let me go past? Ooh, it does. Wait, what? Why would it let me go past the border? Well, actually don't want it to go that far, so let's kind of pull it up here a little bit. Let's look at that placement. I think that kind of does extend it a wee bit. That looks pretty good. Maybe do we want it out on the corner or do we want it here? Actually put it up a little bit. We could have a little bit more of a sloping hill up here and maybe move it over just a tad to the corner. I do think it's kind of a more I don't know how unimportant the building is, but I'm just going off of what I've kind of learned so far. So let's move it. If we've moved it away from that tree, not that we couldn't move the tree. Let's move it back just a little bit more. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that a bit better. And it's extending us out just a little bit. And giving us kind of a rolling hill to that supply camp. Yep, I think that's good. Now this one, it is going to let us go ahead and place it here without removing those resources. But it is going to make it like the little border. Well, let's just show you. I'm going to go ahead and put this down, say check. And I'm going to not assign a builder yet. Let's see. Schematic constructed, assign a builder. We'll assign a builder, but now you see how those little fence things, it extended the border out just a bit, but those little fence things, there's some missing ones. Look at this. See, they're up in the tree. So it's letting us know that this needs to come down. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And then when we get rid of what's up here as well, you're going to see that those pieces actually fall down to the ground where they're supposed to be. I think that's kind of funny that that works that way, but I love it. That's very cool. I do think that, you know, if I had a lot of time, it would be fun to play this in survival. But honestly, a lot of the tutorials and things that help you learn this mod are also in creative, and I wondered why, and now I kind of understand. It's just that there's evidently a lot of raids and things that can happen. And as I said, I had lost 3 villagers in a matter of minutes, and I was just like, you know, this is not actually going to be fun or entertaining. I think it would just be more frustrating. So there we go. And it looks like the block that they're going to need to access is right here. I'm going to want to get rid of some of this dirt for them because they're just going to come over here and want to get rid of it too. So let's just help them out a little bit in the building. Even though it is in creative, they do not have the unlimited resources and stuff. So they're going to come over here and start taking out grass and flowers, and then it chunks up their inventory because they pick all those things up. So I am going to try to, you know, get rid of some of that for them just so that it's not clogging up their inventory. I don't mind if they dig out all the dirt and that kind of thing, but I really don't want their, like, these flowers to be onesies in their inventory and just clog it up. Okay, so this looks pretty clear, and I think that they'll head this way. This will kind of be where they, convene. But once we get the builder's hut going, which is going to be a long walk for them, I'm going to need to make this a little bit more sloping, because I do think they're going to want to access this area. And right now it's not accessible. So let's start to build that sloping bit. And this, again, I might speed this up for y'all because this will take me just a sec. So I will stop talking. All right, I think that's good for now. It lets them get up there, but the main thing we need now is the builder's hut. So we do want to put that definitely more centralized. Whoops. Let's block this up as well. We don't need them falling down and hurting themselves as they're going back and forth. There, that's a little bit better. Path over here. I might want to actually take some of this out too, just to level the walk back and forth if they come over here. I'm not sure. Again, we are learning as we go. So let's just clear this out just a little bit. Actually, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Oh, that actually removes more. Of course it did. But we'll just fill it back in. Do you all ever play in creative? I'm just curious. Like, is that something that you enjoy? Have you ever played in creative? Are you more of an adventurer? I definitely loved creative in the beginning because I was just terrified of, mobs and monsters and stuff. Now I actually, creative seems a bit more boring to me, but I guess because I've been playing the game so long. But in this regard, I think it's kind of fun and relaxing and keeps that little cozy vibe going. So I'm good with it. But do you all enjoy creative? Do you have like a creative world where you test out builds, or how do you use creative? Or do you use creative? Or are you like a hard mode player? Man, I have respect for people who play in hard mode, hard difficulty, and definitely hardcore. I cannot imagine investing in a world and then dying and losing it all. The level of stress I would feel when I played on that world is just not worth it to me. But man, I really do respect people who play in that mode. I totally do. I wish in many ways I was that girl, but I am going to embrace who I am. It is not that. I am much more of a cozy, low stress. I work a job all day, and when I come home, the last thing I want to do is stress out. So this is an enjoyable, relaxing time for me, and something that helps me kind of escape the world and be who I am here in Minecraft, but in almost who I wish I was. Relaxed and enjoying just the day and nature. And I'm not a gardener. I have a few house plants, but not a big farmer. And I really enjoy doing all of those things here, which is funny that I don't do it in real life, but I enjoy doing it here. And all this may be cut out because I am doing such boring things, trying to make a path easier over here. And really, we just need to get to the builder's hut. So you know what? I'm going to stop squirreling on terraforming and come over here and get to that builder's hut. Now, I think the builder's hut, we might want to put like kind of in this direction. Let's try. Let's see what we think about builder's hut. This is definitely the first necessary building. You can't really do anything else until you've placed this. And this one, well, let's turn it around where it's facing us. There we go. This is the level 1. So this is builder. We're going to say builder. And then, so this is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and then level 5. Again, I'm going to go with level 5 for the planning. But if you guys know why, this is kind of puzzling to me. I think that this tennis racket is actually just dirt blocks. And they don't have, it's funny because they have dirt here, but it's like, I think that's dirt too. I'm not really sure. It's hard to visualize sometimes for me with these tennis rackets everywhere, but I do think that that's what it is. This looks pretty good. It looks like there's a front and back door. Is this the front? Maybe this is the front actually. And maybe this is this the back? Let's see if we can go inside the building and see what, oh, I think there's the work table. So I do think that that's the back door. You know what might be kind of fun is if the back door led down to that little pier, which would have us moving this way over. Let's try. Let's move it over a little bit. Let's see what that does. There's also bridges in this mod pack, and it might be kind of fun if that back door came out and went down to a bridge. I'll show you guys that real quick, just because I did do a little bit of not building, but looking at the other things. There's walls, there's some mystic, which I don't really understand, military, but infrastructure. There's these bridges, and I liked the plank ones the best, but you can look at different. Wood is just that. It's like with logs and stone, of course, with stone. But once you get into the specifics, it'll show you a floating one ahead, which is the beginning of the pier or the bridge across, and then long pillars short. So like you can look at the head and, well, where did it go? Oh, it replaced the thing we were working on. But there you can see kind of the bridge. And then, so my intention is to eventually have them, you know, bridge across to where this side over here is where we're going to do our, you know, quote unquote survival section where we have to gather everything. It won't be creative, but it will still be peaceful. So that will be over on that side of the river. All right, let's get back to placing that builder's hut. So let's click here and place the builder, go back into builder alternative is kind of a different, it's just an extra look at, you know, a different style. If you say builder alternative, there's also a level 5, which you can look at. It's got a little bit more stone. It has a slightly different look. It's a little bit more expensive. I'm going to stick with the basic because honestly, I feel like if I were in survival, which I would want to do, I would want to stick to kind of the more basic look of level 5 here with, you know, less expensive resources and things together because I'm kind of a more casual player. So anyway, we're going to stick with that one. And then we're going to make sure that our door is coming out here that we could build down to the little bridge. So I like this placement. I think this looks pretty good. Yes, I do think this, I think this works. So let's go ahead and check and see if there's anything wrong with placing it here. Oh, assign to builder. There we go. Valentino, you've got your work cut out for you, my sir. We do want to make sure that, like, let's go ahead and delete some of this grass and flowers. And I do know when it's raining, they don't work. So I'm not really worried that he hasn't like told me he's going to start working yet, because that's just something. Again, this is why I wanted to do it this way, where we're kind of playing two things at once, because waiting around now, I know there are mods on all the mods 10, they have the ability to speed up the builders. But for me, with this mod pack, it's not in here. So we're going to have to just wait on them to build in their own time. And they are incredibly slow. So again, another reason why I want to experiment with this path. I don't know why I'm very nervous about you guys and how you're reacting. I think the more encouragement I get, the harder I want to work and make it perfect.
Is there
All right,
a problem?
so let's see. Yes, I did choose a style. It's asking me if I chose a style, and we did choose the Shire. And then he's saying, okay, great. Next, I suggest you browse the build tool a bit. Yes, we have done that. Okay. Okay, I'll do that again. Okay, so I guess they're telling me since I've already done that to do it again, which is kind of strange. Maybe it's just because it's raining. So let's just give him a minute to realize we have in fact placed the builder hut, and we'll come back to him in just a minute with his little question mark there. So I'm gonna try to wait out this rain a little bit. We'll head up to the supply camp and maybe dump some stuff out of our inventory and see if by that time we're ready to take a sleep and get over this bad weather. Oh, let's try our little tool rack. Or I need food, so I'm gonna go ahead and just throw some seeds in there, some saplings, some stuff that we don't need. Leave our wood in there and keep our all of our survival stuff here for when we go on the other side. And we are going to build a little base over on the other side of the river. That'll be kind of the first thing, and then we will switch hats every time we cross that river. But we're going to focus on MineColonies first before we start tackling. Once these guys get to working and this is boring, we'll go to the other side of the river and start building the rest of the mod pack section of the series. So that, and the reason I decided to do it across the river was simply because of the location. I'm afraid if I get too far away from the colonists, they'll stop building. And what I wanted to do is, as they're building, we will do other things. That allows for us to work and kind of keep track of them at the same time in case they need resources or whatever. Had I been able to kind of get farther away, I don't know. I think this is the perfect option, to be fair. I really think I'm kind of excited about this sort of idea. I hope that you guys are too. Okay. Now the rain has stopped and it looks like now, I don't know why he's going that direction to the town hall. Like I said, they tend to kind of congregate and over here, which is a little bit far away. Yep, I'm not sure if I'm making all the best decisions, but here we go. So let's talk to him.
Is there a problem?
No,
Is there a problem?
I don't. Oh, maybe because I have an apple in my hand. Do I need to not? Let's move this out of the way. I guess we don't need to eat in creative.
Right away.
Welcome back. Were you able to navigate the build tool? Yes, mission accomplished. Awesome. Then before placing, we first have to craft a builder's hut. Okay, I did that. Come back to me after you have crafted the hut. Okay, but I think that's done. Let's go over here. Maybe there's something in this. Oh, okay. Some buildings have extra pages. Combine help. Understood. Let's manage workers. Okay, he is on duty. Build options. Okay, these are all the resources for stage 1. Now, this does not look too bad. We could have stuck in survival for this, which if I were playing by myself and not recording a series, I would have just done it this way. But I do think it's fun to learn this way. We want to say build the building. And we've got him here now. Oh, this button, recall worker. This is kind of cool because I guess sometimes they build themselves. It already happened to me once with the builder hut on my little test world. They do block themselves in with no door sometimes. So you can just hit recall worker and he'll show up here even if he's stuck somewhere. And
Can I
then
get you something?
we can talk to him. Yes. And then he says, perfect. The next step is placing it in the help with the build tool. Right. Okay. Already done. He has a little cog above his head now. That means that he needs something. So we can go to this tab with him that says open requests. We want to give him a hoe. Because we're in creative, we can just go ahead and hit fulfill. This is the part I didn't want to have to go through all the menus and bore. But there we go. So we did that. And then he still has a question mark. It might just be him catching up.
Where is that courier?
Let's see. The building is placed and a worker will start working there soon. Take this quest log and shift right click it on any of the hut blocks in the colony to stay updated with the next steps. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. We're getting into stuff I'm unfamiliar with, but let's try that. It says shift right click, tracking quests on the quest log from. Okay. So now we've got a quest log in progress, details, available quests, name, welcome, completed, in progress. Okay. Oh, wait, what's this? Your first
Without
building.
this, I can't work.
Oh, he's got a... Okay. I'm not sure what that is, but
I'm
let's...
waiting for something.
Okay. I think I need to go to his open request, fulfill... Okay, now he should have the shovel as well. And honestly, we should probably give him stone over the wood, but let's just follow what he's requested for now. I think he can only have wood and stone, and they do actually wear out.
Where's that courier?
He doesn't have any open requests. His inventory is here, so we can see what he has. So if we want to, we can go into stone... Oh, just to give him like an extra. Let's move this out of our way. And let's grab a stone shovel. And let's go ahead and give him those two inventory. Okay. All right, he's off to work on the builder's hut, and until that builder's hut's done, we really can't do anything else over here. So I'm guessing we should probably place a bridge pretty soon to work over there. But maybe what we'll do, let's see, while he is building this, let's look at our chest here. This is all stuff we need to move to the other side of the river, which is going to be over here. So as you remember from the last episode, and we left our boat here, this is where we took on these guys, and we still have that death marker. I do not know how to remove it. I went into the map and it doesn't show it here. It only shows it on the mini map. And when you're looking, if you go into the settings, it says false on create death waypoint, but yet there is nothing I see that lets me get rid of that marker. If you guys know how to do that, please let me know. That is just annoying. I would really like to get rid of that. Okay, so over here, we're going to build a little cabin on the other side of their bridge that will reach over here. We can start sort of here and move stuff over, and maybe that's what we'll do while he's building, and just actually test, because I haven't even tested that he keeps going at this distance. I'm hoping that he does. Maybe I should kind of stay over here a minute and just make sure he's making progress. So some of this I might edit out of the video, because again, I am testing in this episode. Let me just give it a little minute and see if he continues to build or finishes at this point, or if he's been paused because we're over here, because this is where all the action will be. Probably could do a little Google and find out how far we can get away from him. for him to keep working. Oh, he's got a cog.
Is there a problem?
Oh, we need to, so yes. Okay. Wasn't paying attention. This open request, once he gives you all of the materials he needs for the build, this is where you would be able to go and mine 560 pieces of dirt or mine as much as you want. If you just give him what you have at the moment, he'll keep track of what he still needs. So if you are playing in survival, not creative, this would be where you would fulfill him. Now, we can just go ahead and hit fill because we're in creative. So we're just going to do that. And now he should literally have everything he needs to go ahead and do the build. And since we can see where it's at, let's do that test and go over here and just make sure that he will, in fact, from a distance, still work. Let's see how far we could go. Let's try from our infamous death marker here and see if he still works. And he did start to work. It has become night, so we need to sleep and get them back to work. They do not work at night. And it's not quite night enough for me to sleep, although they've gotten off the job. There we go. And we're sleeping. And let's see if he comes right back to work. I would like to finish this build. And here we go. Our very first building taking shape. It's amazing watching them work, one block at a time, like a little dance of planks and cobblestone. I sped this up so you can see the whole process in just a few seconds, but in real time, well, let's just say it's a good moment to go grab some coffee. Hey, we missed the end of the build, the fireworks, but okay, it is done. Yay! I think the next thing that we'll want to build is the tavern. That is like where they can all sleep. So that will be the next build, and a bridge across the way. But for now, I do think that this at least gets a start to this new sort of idea that I had. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you like the direction this series is taking. Please give me some feedback. But in the meantime, thanks for sticking to the end. I'm so glad to have you here. I am almost at 200 subscribers and I can't even believe it. I am so excited that this series this channel is doing well. Thank you so much for supporting me and being there. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And for now, bye.